Okay, good morning, Bo here, Black opinionated woman. Let's just jump right on into it. Yeah, so I'm just suffering from secondhand embarrassment. I am. I like to get on TikTok occasionally, and lately I've just been busy, so it's been hard for me to keep up, with anything on social media per se, right? I barely have time to make video. So I was on TikTok over the weekend, and what is it, Wednesday? I think we're Wednesday today. So I noticed that I've seen clips from this particular podcast. It's called Tonight's Conversation. And apparently tonight's conversation is now no longer a conversation. I think the show is going on, or I don't know. And basically what it was black men and women up on a stage talking and giving out relationship advice. I don't even know where to begin about this whole thing. So apparently, some guy's a fraud, and then I don't know. Like, there's this one girl named Keita Rose. Now, I remember seeing her on TikTok before, and she used to just get on and give out like relationship advice. And I don't know why she was giving out relationship advice, but everybody wants to give out relationship advice. And I remember she'd come on sometimes and twerk because she's a thick girl, a real pretty girl, a woman, and she would like to show her buns, clapping it up. I don't know. And then she would want to give out relationship advice. There's so many layers to this. So anyway, she was part of this. I'm gonna call it rodeo, roadshow, whatever, called tonight's conversation. And you'll have people getting up there. Some people will quote from the Bible. Everybody wants to get up there. It sounds so intelligent about relationships. So this is the thing. I don't think half of them had a relationship that was even worth anything, but they were giving out relationship advice. They were giving out advice, trying to tell people and women about like their worth and men, and I don't know. I think they were all feeding off of each other, creating controversy, whatever. So apparently there's drama. I think the whole thing fell apart. And this is the thing that tickles me the most. So Kita, one of the really pretty women that was on this panel, I guess, was fired from the show. I think she wasn't paid. And now it's Mad Day. And on Mad Day, she's like putting out all of these clips, like part 1 million of who did I work with or whatever. So she's putting out all these clips. And this is the thing, and it's hard for me to even take all of this even seriously. I never really watched a whole lot of that whole tonight's conversation thing. I've seen clips from it that would end up on TikTok. I would never go seek it out. I couldn't even tell you all the names of the people on that particular panel unless they were on there and I heard it in like real time. Um, but the thing that kills me is when things go sour or south, and she very well is probably right. I don't know. I don't even care. But the thing that tickles me is on Mad Day, you want to come out, you want to spill all this tea. You want to talk about people, and now it's like you want to expose all their business. And I understand everybody has a right to defend themselves, but she's taking it to a whole other level. And so where I'm going with all this is I'm so sick and tired of people who look like me getting out here on these silly podcasts talking about the same nonsense. Everybody's thinking that they're dropping all this knowledge about relationships and stuff. You got a bunch of ding dong women going up there talking about like, well, I can fulfill him. I'm his side piece. Like, I don't even think people like that should ever be platformed. Now, there are people who are going to say, oh, you're just trying to censor voices. You can say what you want. I don't care. Not everybody deserves a microphone. Heck, I think probably almost most, or if not all, of the people who were on that panel should not have had a microphone. The only one who really should have a microphone is me. I just find it to be so lowbrow that we constantly get on these microphones and we want to talk about relationships when our community is so bad. Like, none of these people are experts in relationships. This whole thing is so wild to me. And people will get out there and listen to these people. They will take their advice as if like what they're saying is golden. That is not to say that they can't possibly have good advice. But I'm just so tired of people creating these silly little podcasts on relationships. And then you got like, this is the thing that tickles me. You'll have single women going to single men seeking advice on how to find a man. Now, I've said this in some of my old videos. Now, I want you guys to listen. Let me hold your hand while I say this. You remember that whole thing? Baby, let me hold your hand while I say this. I want you to lean in. I want you to tune in. Put your ear close to the speaker of whatever device you're listening on. I want you to listen to me. Why would a single woman go to a single man for advice on how to find a man? Why would a single woman go to a married man on how to find a man? If I'll say this, heterosexual men cannot tell you how to find a man because heterosexual men are not in the business for how to find men. They're not. I want you to let that one sink in. By the way, my hair is hairing today, isn't it? Anyway, you need to go to women. Women tell you how to find men. Yo, why did this copper just blow right by me? Women can tell you how to find men. Men cannot really tell you how to find men. Men don't know how to trap men. Not trap. See, look, that sounds bad, but I'm trying to say it was a trap. What word I want to use? A trap. Now, see, this sounds like a faux pas. Trapping men. No, but men can't tell you how to attract, trap, whatever word you're going to use, a man, right? They can't tell you how to do that. If I wanted to attract a man, I'm not going to go to a man to say, how do I attract him? Men are in the business of getting their needs fulfilled or their wants fulfilled, right? They can tell you what they want. But women tell you how to attract a man. Anyway, I just find the whole thing to be so bizarre. That you got these women who love going to these men. Men think that they drop a couple of bars, maybe because they threw a Bible verse behind it, and all of a sudden these women are like, ooh. I don't even know how well trained these men are, but like they get up there on these stage, and now everybody doing is to drop a bar. And the same thing with the women, like, and what happens is a lot of these women and men, they get up there and they engage in all these theatrics, right, to make it more like appear to be palatable, believable, whatever. Like it's easier to consume. I just want to say for the record that I love my seat heater. My seat heater has me feeling right. It is 17 degrees outside. I got on my little big pupper coat on top of my sweater. Let me tell you, my car temperature is just right. Okay, this is a comfortable ride today. Okay, all right. So anyway, I'm just so sick and tired of people getting out here on these podcasts dropping so-called relationship knowledge. And the thing about the Keita Rose girl, I saw a clip of her the other day, like she'll walk up on stage, turn around, and clap her booty cheeks to get attention. And then it's like you want to sit down, and now you want to sit here and have a microphone and talk about relationships and your value as a woman. When the only thing you appear to value on yourself or about yourself is your body. And she's a pretty woman. But you want to get up there on this stage and talk about these types of things? I'm just trying to make it make some sense. Somebody needs to make it make sense. My understanding from some of these clips is there's a guy who was stirring the pot, and I don't know, the whole thing is so silly to me. Anyway, Black people, can we get out here and come up with a completely different podcast? Can we talk about something else? And it doesn't have to always be super serious on like financial literacy. Like that is very important, right? We need to talk about financial literacy, health, etc. Man, my mirrors. But what I will say is we can talk about other things. We can talk about, I don't know, crafts. We can talk about how to grow your own food. We could talk about, we need to talk about health too. We could talk about just something else. I feel like our community is so thirsty for something else. For something else. Like we need something else. And right now I feel like our minds are not being stretched because the only thing that we are feeding ourselves is this bad relationship advice. All these ridiculous podcasts. It's so annoying. It's just, I'm telling you, it's like secondhand embarrassment is beginning. I'm suffering right now. So we got women getting up here talking about you need to know your worth and all of this stuff. We got one of them is out here booty clapping, and it's impressive, the clapperization of it all. I'm like, well, okay. Now, I must admit, I don't really watch that show. I've seen clips of it. It ends up on my For You page once in a while. I don't even know how I got on that because I'm not looking for relationship advice. The stuff I look for on my TikTok, look, I want to see stuff on the lions and the cubs. I'm all into that. I don't know what is wrong with me, but I love looking at all the nature videos, like the lions and the cubs and stuff. Gorge. I want to see videos on cats and dogs. I like to get my hee-haws. Okay, cats are funny to me. Anything that's arts and crafts related. Once in a blue moon, maybe on hair, but most of the hair stuff they want to put out there is stuff on wig installs. I don't wear wigs. I want to see other stuff on, like, hey, these are the kinds of maybe teas. I don't know, but like something else, like a craft, a new way to invest. And that's not to say that stuff isn't out there, but the stuff that gets pushed is just trash. And then, like, on YouTube, I've gotten away from most of that red pill content. I'm like, thank goodness. But I am constantly, I'm like, I need something else because everybody's pushing the whole MAGA stuff. And I just want to see some stuff on, like, I don't know. I want to see some AI stuff. I want to see some other stuff. I like crafts. I want to see something else. I like to see cool videos when people go diving. And I don't know, just something else. Oh my gosh. But what we got to do is get past this whole, like, let's create a whole bunch of relationship podcasts and videos. We've got to get past wanting to see the same stuff. We got to get past it. I was originally going to talk about Married to Medicine. I did not see the episode that everybody was talking about. I've seen clips of it, obviously. I was thinking of actually watching that episode. I've stopped watching the show. Sorry about the segue. It wasn't really a clean one. I stopped watching because I can't sit there and watch a bunch of grown women, many of whom are professionals, fight each other. And then the ones who should be the matriarchs are just some of the biggest problems. It is so embarrassing. Again, secondhand embarrassment. There's no sisterhood. They talk about all this, the friendship, the friend group. I'm like, there is no sisterhood. The stuff that they do to each other is disgusting on that show. I don't know. I might do it. I might do a video on it. I don't know. All right. I've said enough. That's all I got. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And until next time.